Drugs is small money compared to dog fighting. She just took the dog out, killed it, tore its throat out, tore it to bits.
Now breaking, that dog can't even move its mouth no more.
He's in their bloodline. That's what they were bred for. That's their purpose.
And you realise what money you can make? You'd get into it.
Up and down the country, dogs are being forced to fight, often to the death. Stats suggest there's an amateur dog fight happening every day in the UK.
Get another dog, get 10 dogs tomorrow.
I'm filmmaker Zand, and I've spent months getting inside this underground and brutal world.
What the fuck is going on?
I'm meeting the men and women involved.
Have you lost many dogs?
About 50.
And getting access to the inner city gangs using dogs to settle beef on the streets.
And they're just gonna throw the dogs in that enclosure and just see what comes out alive?
Yeah.
Oh no, oh no.
Yeah, you lot stop following now, man.
Dogfighting is on the rise. The number of reported incidents has increased by over a third in just 3 years, with nearly 2,000 reports since 2020. I want to find out who are the people doing this and why. London is the worst hotspot for dogfighting in the UK. I'm here to meet 2 gang members who apparently have links to dogfighting. It's my first time meeting them, and they're clearly worried about talking to me.
As soon as you lot come out, be ready to film, because as soon as the dogs see any movement, they go crazy.
I can see it in the distance. It's like a rhinoceros. That is a big dog. Bloody hell, like. Thank God for that fence, honestly. Like, I've never been more grateful for a fence. What type of dogs are these?
Oh, these are massive.
How old is that one?
18 months.
18 months. What are you feeding it?
They eat more than what I eat. So these dogs eat literally 30 to 40 pounds of food a day. Hey, no. This one's a fighter. These are about 20 fighters.
She looks like she's been in a few wars.
She has killed a dog. Hey.
When you say she's killed another dog, what happened?
She just took the dog out, killed it, tore its throat out, tore it to bits.
How does a dog like that end up killing another dog?
Lucrative. Dogs is small money compared to dog fighting. Minimum 50, 80,000.
Who's got that money to spend?
This is, so I said it's in a lewd world. Everybody's got that money to spend on this. That's it, yeah?
Yeah. It's very illegal, and the people involved in it, you know, according to these guys, are putting down big money. The reality is it's such an underground world that is so difficult to kind of penetrate.
Dogfighting has been banned in the UK since 1835. If convicted, it can mean up to 5 years in jail. And with recent bans to excel bullies, it's gone further underground. But that hasn't stopped the demand for it. I'd just been told that dogfights could earn people up to £80,000 a fight. This clearly isn't small-time crime. In the UK, the RSPCA work with the police to investigate and prosecute dogfighting gangs, and they've just concluded one of the biggest dogfighting cases of the last 2 decades. One of the investigators in the case has agreed to speak to me.
He's going to be anonymous, though, because the case exposed some pretty high-level criminality. Tell me a bit about Operation Ghoul.
This particular investigation started as a result of a call from a member of the public and expanded into what is now known to be a European dogfighting ring.
What did you find?
Our officers recovered a number of dogs. There was 2 treadmills at the location to increase their exercise ability and their strength. There was also a huge amount of veterinary equipment.
So they were using that to basically fix the dogs up.
That's right. So these were IV lines that actually had needles that should be used for horses, but they were being used as part of a dog fixing kit to deal with the dog's shock after a fight.
The RSPCA found evidence of 2 planned dogfights, with winnings totaling £8,000. In all, 19 dogs were seized, most of which were bull breeds. Jane, a bull terrier, is 8 years old and is one of several dogs the RSPCA hopes to rehome.
What was it like when she first came in?
They were quite nervous, quite shut down, quite skinny.
You can see on her face kind of some scarring.
Yeah, she has got a lot of scars around her nose, which is typical of dog fighting, and around her head as well.
Why do you think dog fighters choose kind of bull breeds?
I think it's probably because of their strength.
Is there something to be worried about with bull breeds, or is it just...
No. I think it's really mainly the way that they're brought up and what she's been through and taught to do.
The gang recorded hours of material on a mobile that was seized, detailing the fights and the injuries to the dogs.
Revealed an absolute goldmine of evidence. The planning and preparation of dog fights, photographs of dogs both injured and being kept, videos of organised dog fights at different locations. This is the top level of organised dog fighting. There was frequent travel to France, to Southern Ireland, and then finally there was match reports for each fight that took place.
It's mad how organised it is.
Absolutely. Those match reports are quite gruesome and make pretty horrendous reading. One of those was a dog that fought for 25 minutes, and the match report from that fight says that the dog sustained definitely 1 broken front leg, if not 2. Another fight lasted well over an hour. The dog lost the fight and died some months later of ulceration of the stomach. These dogs have no choice, and whilst they're trained to fight, the injuries they sustain and the damage and abuse that they're subjected to make them fight is horrific.
The underground nature of dogfighting is what makes it so difficult to investigate.
I think a lot of people think that it's sort of gone with the history books, and sadly it's not, as it is so clandestine, and we rely on members of the public alerting us to any concerns they may have.
It's quite incredible, the scale of dogfighting. You know, people are arranging international fights with high-level criminals. There's a captive audience reading match reports that are then posted online. The question for me is just why?
After London, the dogfighting hotspots are Greater Manchester, West Yorkshire, and the Midlands, where I was headed to next. Through contacts, I'd managed to track down someone who trains dogs to fight.
Wow, you can smoke a cigarette through a balaclava. That is something I've never seen.
We're calling her Jules. She's conducting one of her training sessions. Gabriel is a Rottweiler, often used as a guard dog, and the other, Cinder, is a Belgian Malinois, often used as a police dog.
Will they fight?
He will fight. He's been trained specifically to take down all breeds. So he knows to get ready that they're going to come for his throat, and he literally jumps up and then he'll pin them to the floor.
To kill them?
Sometimes, yeah, they do kill them on the spot.
And do you want the dog to die?
No.
So what are you doing?
Fit that. This piece of leather, padded.
It's quite hard though. It's like a baseball bat. What are you using that for?
Desensitization again. When you're preparing a dog, you've got to desensitize that body.
To pain.
Yeah, to pain.
People will watch this and say it's cruel to have them chained up, cruel to be whipping them. It does feel a little bit cruel.
It does, but I didn't touch her with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
It probably might have looked like I did, and I didn't.
Walk me through, like, the actual process of a fight. So you've got a dog.
You'll have about 4 to 5 days warning before the fight. So that gives you 4 or 5 days to condition that dog. Maybe you need to starve it a little bit, because it sounds horrible, but some dogs work better when they're hungry. And it could be that they fight to death. It could be that they fight till the last dog standing. It all depends on the stakes, it depends on the money. If you win a fight, you can make shed loads of money.
How much is shed loads of money?
A prize pot for a fight can be anything from £1,000 up to 50 to 100 grand.
And who's paying that? Like, why?
The bets. So it'll be set up on the day. There can be anything from 10 to 100 people. You also have cheating fights where people will use amphetamine, steroids,
Drug the dogs up.
speed, ecstasy, anything that will make that dog hyper. Now, I personally don't believe in that's right.
Have you lost many dogs?
Probably, I'd say probably about 50.
50 dogs. What, through fighting?
Right.
How do you feel that 50 dogs have died because of your kind of training or them fighting?
I mean, I'm talking over 50 dogs over the last probably 20 years. So that's not too bad.
It's still a lot of
It's
dogs.
still a lot of dogs, yeah.
You love them.
I've got you.
How can you love a dog that you're putting out there to potentially die? You know what I mean? Like, which is the reality. You've lost up to 50 dogs.
It is, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's brutal, it's nasty, it's vile. A lot of things happen. But that's what they were bred for.
I think it's hard for me to understand how she kind of balances that, because you know she's kind of acting as though she's their mum on the one hand, and on the other, she's kind of pushing them into these till death fights. It's like a really abusive relationship.
Jules is part of a much larger network of dog fighters in the Midlands who organise fights for big money. She just trains the dogs, but a little while after we met, I got an invite to meet another member of the gang. This guy actually organises fights between dogs. I wanted to know how he found his way into this world and whether he felt guilty.
They look like terrifying dogs. All right, let's do this. It's like a horror film. Don't want to be on the wrong side of those dogs. So yeah, putting them in the car. Can you tell me a bit about your dogs? Do they fight?
Definitely. Fight for money.
Was it something that you always wanted to do, or was it kind of by accident?
Money in it. And you realise what money you can make. You'd get into it.
How much?
Can't disclose that.
Do your family know that you do this? What do you think they'd say if they found out?
They wouldn't agree. No.
What's it like being asked these questions about it?
It's I'm very, very uncomfortable.
The more I asked about the specifics of dogfighting, the more cagey the interview became. But he did offer to show me footage of a fight his dogs were involved in.
But that's hardcore, isn't it? It's hard for me to watch that one. I don't really like it. It's just difficult.
Just not used to it, man. You're just not used to it, innit? It's that simple, man.
How long did it take you to get kind of desensitized?
Not long.
So what are the rules for winning?
Something so finished on the dog that it can't carry on. Snout, breaking, you snap, crunching, finished. That dog can't even move its mouth and there's no point in fighting. Leg broken or death.
What happens if the dog gets hurt? Where'd you take the dog?
There's special places, man. Private vets.
Do you feel bad when it happens? Because I guess you're a human, aren't you? You feel emotions.
Do dogs have souls?
I mean, I think so.
Or are they just programmed to do what they do?
I mean, I don't know. But what are your thoughts, from a human level?
Yeah.
How do you feel when that happens? It's obviously your dog fighting.
When I win, I'm nice. My dogs barely ever lose.
The law is clear. Dogfighting is illegal and it shouldn't be happening. But it is. Across the country. Coming up, I get access for the first time ever to a new type of fight. Gangs using dogs to settle beef on the streets.
You can literally hear the dogs ripping each other apart. Oh, fuck, look at them.
I'm investigating the UK's dogfighting gangs, an underground world with secret big money fights. I'm back in the Midlands to meet dog trainer Jules.
Will you shut up?
Why raw chicken?
It's good for them. They are carnivores at the end of the day.
But they just eat it with the bones.
Last time we met, she told me she'd lost 50 dogs due to fighting. It turns out, many of them are buried here, in a garden.
I've got one there, which is the first ever dog that I trained for fighting that went bad.
And it went bad because the dog died.
She failed, she died. So she's there. There's another one there. One of my best working dogs is here.
Obviously, you care about the dogs, you know. You also train dogs for fighting, so it feels like a kind of contradiction.
It is a contradiction, yeah. I'm not going to train a dog to fight and then not be able to win, potentially.
Because you want them to survive.
I want them to survive, yeah.
How did that kind of journey begin?
The first initial time, someone approached me with a pit that they wanted somebody to train the dog to be a fighting dog, but they thought that the best way would be to get somebody to train it to bite humans, and then that would then correspond. It would then easily fight with another person, and it didn't. And she's actually buried over there. Yeah, she failed. But she failed because she wasn't trained to do the job that they wanted her to do. So then the penance to that was that I had to train one myself, my own personal one, which is Lila, and prove that I could train a dog to fight and win.
Did you want Lila to be a fighting dog?
No.
So once this dog lost, they said to you, look, like, as a punishment, basically, to prove that you know what you're doing, a dog that you love now has to fight.
Yep.
How do you feel about that, though, that you're kind of in that world?
Not a choice.
Why?
Wrong crowd, wrong time. And unfortunately, with any gang-related stuff, as I'm sure you may be aware, once you're in, you ain't getting out.
She's doing it for some people who much higher up the chain, and if she says no, she'll be punished for it. So a lot of it feels like grooming. It's hard to know how much of this is her being the villain or the victim. It's just so difficult.
Back in London, I've been told of a dangerous new development, one that's never been filmed before. It turns out, dogs aren't just fighting for money, they're being used to settle beef on the streets. There's a fight happening tonight, and I'm on my way to it.
The problem is the guys who are filming are very angry with each other, and it's a bit of an uncontrollable environment, so don't really know what to expect. How you doing?
I'm good.
What do you know at this point?
There's some money that's gone missing, and the guy who's the suspect, he's got a dog. And then that guy who's lost the money, he's got a dog, and in the estate, there just seems to be like a storage company.
Oh, okay.
That's where the dogs are going to be with their owners.
And they're just gonna throw the dogs in that enclosure?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I mean, that is just absolutely insane, isn't it? They've come to this agreement that instead of violence against each other, they'll sacrifice their dogs to settle the beef. And the way they're going to do that is by locking the dogs in a room to just tear each other to shreds. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? How you doing? What's your dog's name?
Ghost.
Ghost. So what's the reason for the dog fight?
It's a beef about some money. He's saying that I owe him money. He ain't getting no money from me, I don't owe him enough. Whoever wins, wins. Walk away.
What's the decision to do it with the dogs?
He'll say it out in the streets, but then, more people die, more people get hurt.
And how does it end?
one of the dogs is gonna have to probably pass away.
Die, really?
If it gets that bad, it could end up in a cart, a bite, bleeding out, you have to pull it, but more time, it's gonna end in death.
It's a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit sad, but it's either would you rather the dogs or human beings? I can get another dog, get 10 dogs tomorrow. Yo, let's go.
Alright. It's just ridiculous, like, the rationale is like, it's either me or the dog, and in some sick, twisted way, you can kind of understand that, but it's just like, why is it either of those options? I mean, obviously, I knew I'd find it hard, but it was so upsetting. It's just in the middle of a council estate as well, in like a really posh area in London. You can just tell Ghost does not want to fight. Like, it looks terrified. It's like whimpering in fear. This is sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no, oh no. Didn't realise how upsetting it would actually be. You can literally hear the dogs ripping each other apart. Yeah, I mean, I feel, to be honest, a little bit sick. It's like a nightmare.
The fight lasted for just over 6 minutes.
Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out. Blood all over the room, look. Bloody hell, man. Bloody hell. It's like a murder scene, this. So who won?
Ghost had lost the fight.
They said it's pushed between each other. Yo, that he squad there. Yeah,
Oh shit, look at them. Oh fuck, look at them. Man. Dog can't even walk. Oh man, that is depressing as fuck, isn't it?
You not stop following now, man.
Okay, okay. The dog is so messed up from that fight that he's had to carry it out of the building, dripping in blood, because it can't walk for itself. You know, it's literally on its last legs. It's just like so, it's sick, man. It is sick. It's so depressing. So that's it now?
God bless. Squashed the little problem we had.
You were carrying him out?
Yeah.
Is that because he couldn't walk?
Can't walk. He's limping too much. He got ripped off a bit. He's got a couple bites down his neck on his side. He's bleeding from his legs. But you know what? He held up a bit. In the end, gave it his all. But the bigger problem is the issue's sorted now. No need for violence in the world. Gotta move on now, get another dog. He can't fulfill his duties. And that's that. Life goes on.
I found that hard. Found it very hard to listen to, you know, it's like, it's upsetting. Do you think it makes sense? Because people watching it will be confused, you know, like...
It makes sense to us, that's the main thing. We sorted it out till the next time. For now, this problem's done.
I honestly don't know what to say. Like, I feel genuinely quite sick. I think a dog has just potentially died there. You had to carry it out because it was so hurt. All over some stupid beef, like pointless stuff, like, you know, and he's rationalizing it by saying, oh, it's either me or the dog. It's like, why does it have to be either of those things, you know? And it's just, oh God, yeah, I don't know what to think. It's gonna kind of traumatize me, that.
It was worrying to know that there was a new front in the world of fighting dogs. Another development in gang-on-gang violence, where dogs are seen as soldiers to be sent into battle. And after months getting into this world, the sad reality is that dogs, who have no choice whatsoever, are paying the ultimate price for the egos of their owners, their desire to make a bit of money, or to settle a pointless beef. It's a brutal, unnecessary sport that's more common than we all think.